see so many people here networking and excited about the future of Marion, joining the Chamber of Commerce in that effort. And so I think that's something that we all are just very excited about. We'd like to recognize some elected officials today. We have some with us. If you want to just raise your hand so that everyone can see you and maybe be able to visit afterward. From the 86th District, Ohio Representative Tracy Richardson, hiding behind the... representing the 87th District of Ohio, Rorden McLean. Representing the office of the Governor, Mike DeWine, is Kathleen Young-Riley. Representing the office of Lieutenant Governor, John Husted, is Lou Cook. We have the Marion County Prosecutor with us, Ray Grogan. Representing the Ohio State Treasurer, Robert Sprague, is Pat McCauley. Joan Casotis is here, our Marion County Auditor. As well as Jessica Wallace, our Marion County Clerk of Courts. And we have Mark Davis, our newly elected Marion County Commissioner. Thank you. I'd also like to recognize the Board of Directors of the Marion Chamber of Commerce that are in attendance. We can start out with, and I'll also maybe hold your applause and I'll read their names, they can raise their hand for us. Pete Reif with Blair Carlisle Technology, Risk Advisors. Chris Brazel, Cummins Facility Services, there. Logan Kirk with Dostal and Kirk Insurance and Financial Services. Kevin Smith, First Citizens National Bank. We have Jeremy Byers, Marion Family YMCA. My name is Sharon Baldinger. I'm with Marion Logistics Services. Grant Gates is with Morrow Companies, over in the corner. Becky Worley, Nature's Alpine Solutions. Drew Dulsmatch, Ohio Health. Regina Woolham Napier Sedgwick. Jim Vance with Sika Corporation. Scott Knowles, Sims Brothers Recycling. Cass Sisler with Sisler Companies. And Jennifer Ramey with Whirlpool Corporation, Marion Operation. So we're thrilled to have all of our board members present as well. So thank you. I'd like to also recognize the facilitator of our Leadership Marion, John Shank. You heard everyone being directed so that he could introduce and represent that group as well. So turn it over to John. John, over here.
Thank you so much. It's a privilege to be asked to be part of the Leadership Marion process. As I walked around the room today, it was so much fun to see past graduates and alumni from that course. And I'll tell you, it's been interesting. Everybody who's been in that course knows that we do a pre and post survey. And in my short tenure of 8 years in doing it, I have watched those surveys 8 years ago, the pre-surveys being pretty negative about the attitudes for our community. Now they shifted during the course. That's not the case anymore. When we do the pre-assessment survey, there's this positive vibe for our community. And I thank all of you for helping to make that happen and to allowing me to be part of it and stay in tune with it. I am also incredibly honored to introduce to you the 43 members of this year's leadership class who are up around the mezzanine, their names on the board. And most important, importantly, I want to thank the businesses who allow these people to join us one day a month, understanding what that takes to give up an employee for one day a month for the 9 months that we do that. It's greatly appreciated, and that helps us make a difference in our community. So I thank you for that.
Thanks, John. We all know how important it is to build community-minded citizens, and we have put together with John and Doris's facilitation an incredible program. I can't wait to hear their projects, they always have good ones, what they'll be for the upcoming year. Remember, if you or your employees are interested in going through the class, reach out. New classes begin again in September, so we look forward to continuing that huge number of folks that are going through that program. Before we get to Matt and Heidi's presentation, we need to do something very important, which is to recognize and thank our past board chair, Kevin Smith, for his amazing leadership and service to our board last year. Unfortunately, due to a medical emergency last year at this time, Kevin didn't get a chance to stand up here to welcome you to the program. We're so glad he could join us today and be recognized. We have a leather, oh, I hope so too. We have a leather portfolio from Marion's own McKinley Leather and a $50 card for a local restaurant from the ward. Thanks again, Kevin. All right, next up is Matt Carbary, our chamber CEO, and we're going to turn it over to him.
Thank you, Sharon. And thanks again to John. This is going to be a hard one for me today, and so bear with me, but there's a lot to cover here. I did want to echo some of Sharon's comments just now and thank Kevin again for his leadership throughout 2022. Kevin, along with the entire executive committee, did an incredible job navigating an entire president selection process they did not anticipate when the year started. I'll get into it later, but when they made the absolute best choice for the chamber, and it starts with Kevin's intentional, thorough leadership. So thank you, Kevin, along with Sharon and the other selection committee members. Welcome. Thank you all so much for being here. It is so great to see so many new and familiar faces in person as we celebrate our amazing leadership class, thank our outgoing board, recap our 2022 accomplishments, pass the torch to a new president who will announce the board's new big picture initiatives for this year, and give away some prizes and share the winner of the 2023 Pam Hall Betterment of Marion Award. Lots to do. So I'll get us started with some highlights of all that were accomplished in 2022, and there were a lot. Before handing all this to Heidi to share our advocacy plans for 23 based on your feedback, I want to start our highlights of 2022 with our membership. Just like in 21, coming out of the pandemic, unlike many chambers across the country, not only did we again not see the major drop in membership loss, rather we yet again had the highest retention rate in the history of the chamber. And I am here today to share that we closed 22 with an even higher retention rate at 93%. We stuck together. We also ended the year with the most members in our 108-year history at 630, which keeps us in the top 10 chambers in Ohio, right here in Marion. A reminder for those that haven't heard from me in the past, a typical rural chamber of commerce like ours would represent about 20 to 30% of the total number of businesses in the region. Happy to report, again, according to the latest numbers from the U.S. Department, your chamber represents over 60% of the businesses in Marion County and 80% of Marion's workforce at over 19,000 employees. In addition, we have another 100 or so members outside of Marion County doing business in our community, representing another 13,000 employees. This speaks volumes, again, to the business and professional community's understanding of how working together we can achieve a better community for everyone. This shows the strength in numbers truly is something that the chamber and this community should be very proud of, but it only works, of course, if we are constantly looking to partner with each other first. Along with our fantastic printed directory, which hopefully most of you will have in hand by the end of next week, and our new expanded and categorized member information wall here right in our office, We have one of the most advanced online database management tools available, making it very easy for you to find and do it through a quick search for a specific organization or category to find fellow chamber members who can help with whatever your needs may be. And a reminder, while many of you have taken advantage of it, last year at our annual meeting, I announced that we had purchased the highest database tier available to provide every member of our chamber access to enhanced directory listings. Reminder that with that tier, in addition to the great information pages we already have to offer, members can now add additional bulleted descriptions, unlimited characters or keyword searches, photo galleries, videos, search results, icons, logos, and more to your online pages. So, and these are seen by thousands of potential clients a month. While many chambers charge for this upgrade, us at the Marion Chamber allow access to this, again, at no cost. It is free. So many of you have already logged in to flush that out, but if you haven't, please spend a moment to do that. It, again, costs you nothing, and it kind of just allows you to, again, be seen in an even more enhanced way. And don't forget, we even have an app to help you update your listing, register for events, pay invoices, and more with our Member Plus app, available on iPhone and Android. Most importantly, you can also search on the app for other fellow members to do business with, or just call us. If the organization you are currently working with isn't a member, let us know, and we will be more than happy to help explain what we can do for them, including with our new referral rewards program that many members took advantage of last year. That's $50 off your membership for each new member referred, up to $250 annually, and that's $25 for them. There are some members that have referred so many that they got close to getting a free membership last year. I'm looking at you, Sims. I don't know where Cass is, but he killed it. If you have any members to refer, simply fill out the program sheet from our website or get in touch with us and we'll go over the benefits of what we can do for people. But what do we do? Again, a quick history lesson and some background on Chambers of Commerce for our new members leading into my summary of 2022. As I mentioned in previous presentations, as businesswomen and men begin to realize that their own prosperity demanded the development of a prosperous community, modern Chambers of Commerce could no longer ask its members, what do you want your chamber to do? Instead, we needed to ask, what kind of community do we want ours to be? The basic mission of any chamber is to create and promote a climate where business and the professional community can operate in a productive and profitable manner. The chamber, along with other partners, represents and promotes the area's business economy and encourages business and industrial investment. And to new business prospects and newcomers, the chamber and our partners represent the community's pride and self-image, along with access to other partners that can help startups get off the ground, like the Forge, Small Business Development Center, SCORE, Can Do, and our other Marion Coalition members. As a tool in its members' overall business plan, the chamber provides networking, educational workforce development, cost savings opportunities. We'll talk more about that later. The Chamber of Commerce are increasingly involved in non-commercial areas such as education, human relations, environment, cultural, and government concerns. Chambers influence national, state, and local legislation affecting business. The Chamber also serves as a community search engine. The organization fields thousands of calls each year from the public looking for community information, referrals, new member packets, maps, and hundreds of questions we field throughout the year. No other single organization does all the varied things the Chamber of Commerce does, but none of that happens without the connection we have with our economic growth partners and our business, education, nonprofit, and faith-based organization members all working together. So with that background knowledge, I'd like to get into our 2022 highlights and initiatives. We are keenly aware of our need to support both our large business members who are so critical to the success of our community, while providing programming and services for our small organization members, in addition to promoting overall diversity in and from our business community. That awareness continued to drive us in 2022. In 2022, we continued to provide quality topics and networking opportunities to our members as part of our monthly council meetings. We moved to a hybrid model with new audio and video equipment, entrepreneurship, human resource, manufacturers, nonprofit executives, safety, and our newest Black Business Council. They all continue to meet monthly. And since we started the hybrid option in 21, all those meetings were recorded and made available to all members on our YouTube channel. Since the beginning of 21, recordings of these professionally driven educational council meetings have been viewed over 7,700 times. Clearly, y'all found value in them. However, while we love to see the recordings viewed, we would emphasize with all of our members today that perhaps one of the greatest benefits of council meetings is the peer one-on-one networking that can only happen if you attend these in person. We would love to see you attend our councils in person if you can. Training and education didn't stop with councils. We also again provided our professional development training program, Supervisor Six-Pack. We had OSHA 10 and OSHA 30 general industry trainings. We created and distributed the first comprehensive wage and benefits survey in the community since 2019, while working closely with Adam H., Marion Public Health, and the Transportation Coalition to create and distribute a related transportation, mental health, and community and health improvement plan surveys at the same time. There's a lot of surveys. We facilitated candidate questionnaires again before the November election and created a free 2-day Small Business Marketing 101 workshop that's now become an annual program. As the largest database of businesses in Marion County, in 2022, we remained the point organization for the Marion Public Health, Marion County EMA, Ohio Health, and others to share information with local businesses on COVID-related business resources, which I put together monthly via email, in addition to information from state and federal sources. In 22, we also worked closely with Marion City Lieutenant Governor's Office, Representative Tracy Richardson, and the Small Business Administration to help eligible business and nonprofit organizations access relief loans and grants throughout the year, including by sharing the Commissioner's Nonprofit Relief Grant, which increased their initial allocation from 200 to 200% due to the demand and response. The Chamber also again spearheaded our community's capital budget project submission process with Representative Tracy and Senator Bill Reinecke, with several projects successfully receiving funding. And again, we worked with Marion Technical College and other representatives from the Marion Area Workforce Acceleration Collaborative to host again the in-person Made in Marion Expo to help expose local high school students from every school district to the opportunities available in manufacturing and logistics. We co-sponsored MTC's Teacher Boot Camp, which provides teachers from every school district a chance to tour the local business community. We also remained involved in the Forge business competition, which was able to host the MTC courses and competition again last year. The Forge and its 9 weeks of free small business training has become one of the most important tools for startups in the county, which currently lags behind all surrounding counties in terms of the number of new small businesses. And thanks to a partnership with MTC, every Forge participant receives a year of chamber membership free, sponsored by MTC and the Forge. We worked with MTC's America's Workforce Development Capital.com, a phrase trademarked by Marion Can Do, and through MTC turned into a website hub of all the ways Marion is working together to tackle workforce challenges. We used that to create a landing page for the Marion Coalition. This was the Coalition's first official online presence. This again is the group composed of Downtown Marion Inc., the Convention and Visitors Bureau, Marion Can Do, Marion City County Regional Planning Commission, and the Chamber, which all collectively and uniquely drive economic development in our community, which meets monthly to help ensure we are all communicating and working together towards common goals. The Chamber was selected to host the only in-person Greater Ohio Policy Center Legacy City Roundtable that they had in all of 2022. GOPC and over 10 communities out of the 16 legacy cities they had identified from all around Ohio joined local community members to provide an update on our city, hear from our partners, and take a bus tour of Marion. Everyone was very impressed to see what Marion has accomplished in the last few years. We also shared in 22 that I had been selected for the 6th cohort of the U.S. Chamber Foundation's Business Leads Fellowship Workforce and Education Program. In this extremely selective year-long program, I joined 34 other participants from around the U.S. to cover the entire talent pipeline, including early childhood education, K-12, higher education, and workforce development. Graduating in October last year, the information and insight I gathered during that program was absolutely incredible. I've shared so much of that with our education partners, and that won't stop. Since graduation, the Chamber will now have regular ongoing access to the U.S. Chamber of Commerce Foundation's dedicated network of over 200 chambers of commerce and statewide associations from around the nation who regularly engage in education and workforce initiatives. As the Chamber continues to advocate for our businesses and help them grow the workforce they need today and into the future, this will be a major tool that can help set our community apart. Only 7 other chambers and economic development leaders in Ohio have ever been selected to participate in this program. It's something I'm proud of, and I get to leave it behind for Heidi and the community. A real quick funny story from that. So the in-person graduation, that was in Austin, Texas, one of the fastest growing cities in the U.S. One of the guest speakers was Austin's city manager, who spoke on the massive, at the time, $17 billion Samsung chip-making plant expansion in their city, and how their city's growth has led to workforce, housing, transportation challenges, including major traffic issues. I spoke up and said that I'm from the Central Ohio region, curious to see about their solutions as we look to the $20 billion Intel investment. The city manager immediately said, "Oh, we know about you guys in Columbus. You're the ones putting up the billboards all over our town telling people how much it stinks here to get them to move to Ohio." Apparently they're all over the city. It's Jobs Ohio, I guess. They funded these in major U.S. cities across the nation. Anyway, I had some really good, fun conversations while I was down there. We were proud to participate in 29 ribbon cuttings, the second most in 1 year in the history of the chamber, right behind 21. We held 12 business after hours and safely held many of our numerous annual large networking events, like our super fun annual auction, our golf outing, regional chamber business expo, and our very successful speed dating like networking at noons, not once but 3 times, with one being virtual with the Delaware area chamber. All told, in 22, we provided an incredible 130 networking and educational events, and we had over 3,300 attendees. And we'll be doing more of that in 23. In 22, we also provided free advertising to our members via over 200 email exclusives, and our conference rooms were utilized day and night, also at no charge, over 450 times. Members stepped up and announced 6 additional member-to-member benefits last year, which I hope you'll consider sharing with your employees. Reminder that these are perks all of your employees and their families can take advantage of that will save real dollars. For example, here is a picture of the employee bulletin board at Sims Brothers Recycling, where they post chamber-exclusive email blasts and member-to-member benefits that provide them discounts. We also saw the number of members enrolling their organization in our new chamber member-only Anthem insurance plan double again in 2022, with reported savings of up to 48% over their current insurance plans. If you are an organization between 2 to 50 employees or a sole proprietor, we encourage you to get in touch with us for info on a free quote from one of our local Anthem agents. In addition to the savings program in 22, we saved our members over $66,000 in office and cleaning supplies through our Office Depot Chamber Discount Program. In the past 11 years, we have provided our members over $3 million in energy and gas savings through our partnership with Alternative Energy Source. I don't think I saw Rex Arnausi. Are you here today? Wave your hand. Oh, there he is. Rex is our contact there at AAS. And he'll be around today, but I would encourage you to get in touch with him for a free quote. And through our workers' comp group provided by Sedgwick, we were able to help our members save over $26,000 in 22. Now, many of you are in that group, but some aren't. I would encourage you to allow Sedgwick to provide a quote to your business this year. Our rep extraordinaire and board member, Regina William Napier, is here to help. I think I saw Regina for sure.
In the back.
There, okay. She's a fantastic resource. She lives right here in town and can answer any questions you might have about the group. Again, I would encourage you to see Regina or Rex today or contact the Chamber for a free quote. This is just a few ways we are helping your organization's bottom line. Before shifting focus to our 2023 initiatives, I wanted to end our 22 look back on our 2022 big picture initiatives that your board elected to shift away from our full initiative status to just being part of who we are as an organization moving forward. Then we'll recap those that just might have other fates. The first 22 initiative converted to mission is the creation of a 501c3 Marion Area Chamber Foundation. As a chamber matures, one of the common options is to expand its role in the community, is to create a tax-deductible, grant-eligible foundation to support specific programs and build capacity. A reminder that chambers by themselves are often 501c6s that cannot accept tax-deductible contributions or apply for grants because we need to be able to advocate for you at the state and local levels. Many large next-level chambers have foundations in order to house more educational and development type programs to combat at a more systematic level our members' workforce development, training, attraction, and retention issues. Our leadership program, which is now hosted by the foundation, and the potential projects those classes might create are perfect examples of that. In March last year, we received our foundation articles of incorporation and formed the framework of the organization, and in July, we officially submitted our 1023 IRS application. That was in July. We are still waiting on the review. Apparently, they're very backlogged. But per IRS guidelines, that didn't stop us from being able to operate the foundation. As any nonprofit will know, this process was a monumental task, and on its own, I can't thank my chamber staff enough for not running away screaming during this process. Yeah, it took a while. Since the foundation's creation last year, we transferred our amazing leadership class to the foundation, along with moving the facilitation of our Youth Leadership Marion, a former Leadership Marion class program, officially now under the Chamber Foundation. With a generous grant from Marion Community Foundation and sponsorship from Whirlpool Corporate of Marion, we doubled the size of Youth Leadership class to 25, with 2 to 5 junior students from every school district in Marion County. This 8-month course, expertly facilitated by Jody Galloway from Marion Prevention Programs, mirrors our adult leadership class to get our youth excited and engaged with the community, both as a volunteer but also as a future employee or small business owner. All while learning leadership skills led by former leadership class alum Kelly Marsh. This is the perfect example of how we are helping build your future workforce and community leaders. Jody, would you mind waving to the folks? Is Jody here still? Oh, there you are, right over there. Can we give her a round of applause for amazing, she did an amazing job today. It's a difficult task to wrangle high school kids to do anything, so that's a huge monumental task. One of my long-term visions to keeping our youth in the community was to see a connective line of touch points that at least start in high school with either an enrollment in the youth leadership program or directly into a young professionals program where youth can interact with older peers already in the workforce locally. Then once they enter the workforce themselves, they remain involved with young professionals, eventually go through our adult leadership class, and then continue their young professional development after graduation. So, last July, with our foundation in hand, we set about working with United Way of Marion County to acquire and jumpstart the Marion Young Professionals Program, which fits perfectly with Chambers. They typically run young professionals. With help from a great group of steering committee members and our millennial staff member, Lily, helping us remain hip on social media, we've hosted MYP social events every month since July around town, averaging a very healthy 30 per event. And I'm sorry to Evan, but I had to show your ugly sweater in that. Our next event will be at the new Kin and Kilt Axe Throwing Bar downtown at 6 o'clock Thursday, February 23rd. Event is open to everyone 18 to 45 and friends of MYP, which means old people. Please come and bring your friends. So all this, along with John Shank's absolutely fantastic, best-in-class, state-recognized adult leadership program, which we celebrated earlier today, are the current projects under our new foundation. And while I can certainly say that we can call this initiative mission accomplished, clearly there are loads of ongoing forever programs, a great platform, and the perfect person at the helm in Heidi Jones to see this foundation continue into the future. Our second 2022 Big Picture initiative that will now be shifted to mission is the formation of a Legislative Affairs Committee. Again, the goal for this initiative was to formally create the framework for something our Chamber has been doing as one of our key mission pillars since our inception. Working with the U.S. Chamber, early this year, our board went through a nationally recognized training to enhance our advocacy ability at the local, state, and federal level, so we can continue to provide an even stronger voice for our members to drive economic growth and development. The training remains ongoing, with 5 board members and 1 non-board member offering to join the Legislative Affairs Committee to review incoming support requests and create policy write-ups. Since May, we've signed on to 6 major federal level U.S. Chamber letters of support, normally joining only 8 or so total Ohio chambers out of over 100 chambers statewide. It is really cool to see Marion's name on national pro-business legislation support as one of the few rural communities able to engage in this process. We have an important voice now in the arena. Reminder, if any of you are interested in joining our Legislative Affairs Committee, please just reach out to us. So while there is more work to do, including how we can make sure our members know we are fighting for them, in terms of the 2020 initiative, again, we can consider this mission accomplished with ongoing training and continued involvement with larger advocacy groups like the Greater Ohio Policy Center, U.S. Chamber, Ohio Chamber, and the U.S. Chamber Foundation. So again, these 2 initiatives will just become part of who we are in service to you and the community. So this next set of 3 22 initiatives, without spoiling Heidi's portion of the presentation, just might pop up again later. I won't cover their future, rather provide you with a brief recap on what was accomplished on these in the last year. The 2022 Removal of Blighted Properties and Delinquent Property Taxes Initiative was one of our only carryover initiatives from previous years. We continue to believe our quality of life, your ability to attract and retain talent, the value of our housing stock, and your individual property investments will be increased when this challenge is addressed. Major strides took place since we met here at this time last year, and many are responsible for that. Again, teamwork among government officials, concerned citizens, business leaders, and nonprofit organizations, such as the newly formed Housing Coalition, is making a difference. The Housing Coalition, which was officially made a subcommittee of the Land Bank in 21, has stayed strong in 22, facilitated by Evelyn Warr-Omness, Director of the Marion City County Regional Planning Commission, and is still composed of dozens of organizations, including the Chamber, concerned citizens, and housing experts from around Marion County. In early 22, the group put forth a list of 14 recommendations on how to systematically address blight and from the policy level at the county, city, and land bank itself, which the Chamber sent in our own letters of support for. The Housing Coalition then in February shifted structure to include 3 subcommittee housing groups: safety, affordability, and quality of life. I was named a co-chair of the Quality of Life Subcommittee, which tied best into our Chamber initiative and the work we were already doing with neighborhood association creation. Speaking of neighborhood associations, I work with other Quality of Life Committee members and a variety of volunteers, including Evelyn and her staff, to form 4 new neighborhood associations across Marion. Most recently, the Lower Downtown Lodo Neighborhood Association, located between Church and Columbia Street, west of Prospect. This is all in an effort to combat blight from the ground up, getting neighbors involved in the cleanup efforts and meeting with each other regularly to build community pride and help them feel heard by the elected officials and other organizations on issues facing them. Neighborhood associations became a key component of the Housing Coalition's outreach efforts in 22, including the coalition's dedicating a portion of the Commissioner's ARPA funds on projects identified during these neighborhood association meetings. Transparency and accountability remains a staple of the monthly land bank meetings under the direction of Evelyn and the regional planning. And the Chamber provided regular words of praise on progress made and words of encouragement to continue efforts. This was especially true during the state brownfield and blight reduction state grant application period earlier in the year. The land bank was able to identify enough properties to cover $1.6 million in grant funds, which, with some large projects selected, funds that were exhausted only after 20 buildings were selected for demo. Other good updates though, every single land bank property has now been sold back to positive uses, representing over 55 properties. Elizabeth Banks from the County Auditor's Office late last year made large strides towards completing the Land Bank and Housing Coalition websites, something that many organizations, including the Chamber, have advocated for over 3 years. Last year, we also publicly praised the city for allocating $500,000 of their ARPA monies towards demoing fire-damaged homes, and for the Love Our Neighborhood cleanups, removing over 150 tons of garbage, including 600 tires. The Chamber helped encourage the Land Bank and Housing Coalition to allocate a portion of the grant received by United Way towards the assistance with lead remediation testing during acquisitions of rehabbed land bank properties and other properties based on income need. Marion is in the top 5 worst counties in terms of lead poisoning risk due to the age of our housing stock and the use of lead paint on those homes built before 1979. Marion has over 250 children test at the maximum level of lead poisoning last year alone. Unfortunately, on the delinquent property side, the prosecutor's office lost 4 key staff members, including 1 dedicated to foreclosures in 22, stalling any major progress on the over $7.2 million in delinquent property taxes, including on the expedited foreclosure tool. Only 16 total foreclosures were filed in 22, compared to over 270 filed in a single year before the pandemic, with Ray being in his new position. But Heidi, during her presentation, will cover some very exciting news from the prosecutor's office, along with the status of everything related to this initiative. The next initiative update for 22 is on the support and presentation of an Envisioning the 21st Century Community Plan 10-year look-back document. For those who aren't familiar, Envisioning the 21st Century was a community plan report created with massive community input, both in 2000 and again in 2013, expertly facilitated both times by OSU Extension consultants Bill Gronkmeyer and Myra Moss. The 2013 document is available on our Chamber's website under About Marion and is read by every incoming leadership class, which helps them see how their potential class projects could fit into the community's defined goals and objectives from that plan. So much amazing progress has been accomplished in Marion in the last 10 years, and United Way and the Chamber, the document's original cooperating partners, believed it would be a very worthwhile exercise to produce one document to highlight everything Marion has accomplished towards our defined community goals and objectives, and where there might be opportunities to accomplish more. Through an incredibly generous offer, the original project leads, Bill and Myra, spent all of last year conducting dozens of strategic interviews to gather data to tell Marion's story. Again, at no cost to the community. Just last month, Bill and Myra provided a draft of the project, which Heidi will cover what happens next. And our final 22 initiative will be recapping is the Chamber providing a neutral platform to educate the community on the potential benefits of the city becoming a charter city form of government, should City Council vote to place that option on a future ballot. In early 22, there was increased interest and a lot of somewhat confusing information and timelines related to charter cities and the formation of a charter city committee, which would then have a year to lay out a proposed new form of government. The Chamber Board felt that we could assist with helping the community understand what being a charter city would mean, reaching out to experts in and outside the community to share information with our members and those that live in Marion City prior to the election. Many communities in Ohio around our county are charter cities, and we believe it is worth educating our community as to why others have made that change and what would be the potential benefits or negatives in forming one here. I attended every charter city subcommittee meeting held throughout 22, publicly stating numerous times our initiative and waiting patiently for council to get the charter vote out of committee into the hands of the voters to decide in the November elections. We worked with League of Women Voters to secure a location, date, and time for the first of many town hall presentations with experts in the field presenting. However, as we drew closer to October, it became clear to council that they in fact did not have the votes they needed to get the charters onto the ballot, effectively halting all potential progress on this initiative. However, again, Heidi will have more information to share with you in just a moment. As I close out my recap and pass the torch to Heidi, since this is my last big event with so many of us gathered, I did just want to say how deeply honored and humbled I am by each and every one of you for your trust in me and the Chamber over my 12 years here. As your president, it has been the greatest experience of my career so far, advocating, partnering, and collaborating together to make your organization, Marion, the best it can be. I loved what I did. I loved having all of you as my boss and took it to heart and celebrated every success and felt every failure. I'm humbled by every sacrifice that all of you make as business owners, education leaders, organization and faith-based leaders, and those working for those incredible organizations. I will miss you all very much and hope to see you around in my new role with the family business at Sims Brothers Recycling. Next month, I go to Sims to join the proud legacy, an incredible culture that Gary and his family have built. And to honor the wishes of Diana, Gary's amazing wife, my mother-in-law, who we lost suddenly last year. Diana, along with Gary, are two of the most caring individuals I have ever met, and I'm honored to call them Mom and Dad. So thankful that they raised two incredible daughters and that Diana got to meet our wonderful daughter, Claire. And I'm honored that I now get to call Gary my boss to continue to make Sims and Marion the best it can be. But you and Heidi are in the amazing hands of our passionate staff. This organization has been around for over 100 years, and this group, built on the backs of those that have come before us, is doing the most incredible work in the history of the Chamber. During and after this once-in-a-generation pandemic, I truly feel our organization, our board, and this incredible staff, like many of you, did not blink. We met the moment, and we've done everything we can to fight for you, get you connected, and give you opportunities to be successful. This staff, Doris Dunn, Kelly Little, and Lily Lloyd, does not stop, as evidence in their absence. When Doris, so wishing she could join us today, but instead we put her on a plane to Alabama to join MTC as a community partner representing on their selection for the National Center for Inquiry and Improvement's Rural Guided Pathways Project, one of only 15 colleges selected across the U.S. The program will cover how we can help MTC and our higher education partners increase the number of community members pursuing a college education, completing the education successfully, and gaining family-sustaining wage employment. Just another example of how we are tirelessly working to make Marion a success. The Chamber has been positioned as an advocacy leader at the state and federal level, the 10th largest in the state, with an incredible resources and a platform to grow even more, and that doesn't happen without Doris, Kelly, and Lily. I will miss the best team I've ever worked with so much, and Heidi already knows how lucky she and you folks are to have them. Heidi could not ask for a better team of hardworking, passionate, caring, funny, talented, wonderful individuals. We won't stop being the great connector we have been for over 100 years. And that connection continues today. I encourage all of you to continue to partner with other chamber members, including those you met today. I have a few parting wishes for all of you. Don't stop collaborating. All of Marion's recent successes is due to the unprecedented level of collaboration and communication taking place in the last 10 years. But that can be even greater, including communicating with each other and the chamber at events like this, attending our numerous councils, or just giving us a call and stopping in. We have so many tools, discount programs, and connections. You don't have to face any challenges alone, but we can't collaborate if we don't know. And there is so much more work to do to get to where we believe Marion can and should be. Heidi will get into this more in her 23 initiatives, but this is going to require all of us to continue to move forward as one. And based on our 10th best membership, something this community clearly understands better than a vast majority of the state, and that's an advantage, one we should be celebrating constantly, one that we'll be able to point to in black and white soon. Again, more in Heidi's presentation. But, speaking of that, don't stop telling Marion's success story. This community is amazing. It is filled with so many passionate people who care so much and see continued potential. Sometimes it may not feel like it, especially on social media at times where there's a small number of negative voices who have an overwhelming presence. But the number of positive voices and positive outlooks are growing. A quick example that John stole earlier, but I'm still going to say it, is that our leadership class pre-survey. Every year we ask the class at the beginning of the year to rate Marion on a scale, declining, neutral, improving, greatly improving, and then we get the survey from them again at the end of class after they've gotten a chance to experience on a deeper level what's going on in every sector. Without fail, every year the class average swings from majority negative, neutral, to vast majority positive. This was the first class since we started tracking this 12 years ago, however, that the class started out overwhelmingly positive. So again, don't give up. Don't stop telling Marion's story of success. It is working. Finally, don't stop investing in our education. Continue to provide opportunities to give our youth a chance to know you and get excited and inspired by what you do. We need absolutely as many kids to stay and engage with Marion as possible. Soon, we, the Chamber, and others in Marion Workforce Acceleration Collaborative will be providing you those opportunities through the form of a business education partnership agreement. Don't pass them up. They are designed to help you help yourself and can be as little as just providing a tour to students once a year. Do it. There are so many other wishes I have for you all, but I'll close my portion of today's presentation by saying thank you again for believing in me. It has been an honor, and I hand this organization over without hesitation and with absolute excitement to Heidi Jones to share with you the board's 2023 Big Picture Initiatives. Heidi, the floor in the chamber is yours.
That we've been able to work in over the last 10 years. And I personally, I know that we'll continue that working relationship as he continues his role. So for me, over the past 10 years, I've had the privilege of being the executive director of Marion Matters, a local nonprofit working to address the challenges of poverty. It's through that work that I learned about employer resource networks, or ERNs, and in 2016, I was able to secure funding through the state of Ohio in partnership with United Way to bring ERNs to our state. Marion was the first city to offer this innovative retention tool to businesses. Now going into its 7th year, the Marion Matters ERN is now serving 10 businesses, 3 success coaches, pretty amazing. During my tenure at Marion Matters, I was able to perfect my skill of understanding people, how they think, what motivates them, and how that plays a major role in our workforce and in our workplace. I'm thrilled to bring that knowledge and expertise with me into my presidency here at the Chamber. I look forward to building relationships with all of you as we continue to make Marion the best place to live, work, and play. With that being said, I'm excited to introduce our 2023 Big Picture Initiatives. Your board of directors met early in January to define their vision and goals for this year. I am so proud of what your board has chosen. Our first initiative for 2023 is to champion the Envisioning the 21st Century 10-year look-back document. We are very excited that the draft is now completed and that we'll be able to share the 10-year look-back document with our community and beyond. As we prepare for the release, the Chamber, along with United Way, will help share the report with everyone. We'll create videos explaining the results and so much more. We'll be encouraging other community organizations to share the information as well. As Matt mentioned, Bill Brunkmeyer and Myra Moss, who care so much about our community, gave so much of their time and energy putting all this information together over the last year. I believe Bill and Myra are here in the audience today. If you are Bill and Myra, thank you. Can you wave? Thanks so much. Also, as a thank you, we and United Way of Marion County would like to present them with a token of our appreciation. All of the items are from Marion County organizations, and as you can see, far too much for you to hold for the rest of the presentation, so we'll keep them back here, and you can have them at the end, but thank you so much. Thank you so much for all your work. Thank you. Great. Our next 2023 initiative is to proactively prepare for Central Ohio's regional growth by continuing to support workforce efforts that focus on retention, increasing and upskilling our labor pool through new and existing programs and partnerships such as Child Care Share, Marion Area Workforce Acceleration Collaborative, or known as MAWAC, ERN, Tech Cred, and more. Being innovative is a characteristic that I personally love about the people of Marion. I've had the honor of witnessing a positive shift of innovative collaboration over the last 10 years in our community. As we brace ourselves for growth, I'm excited to bring my experience in working with those who are solution-minded and focused on these areas to this position. You know, Matt and I, we've often worked together with community organizations, and it was no surprise that through our different networks, that we heard about a child care solution that Michigan is piloting literally in the same week. Now, not to be outshined by that state up north, we thought, Marion should consider duplicating this model and, of course, doing it better. Right. According to the Marion County Child Care Coalition, one of the biggest employment barriers facing parents and caregivers in Marion County is access to quality, affordable child care, per their 2021 survey. The Child Care Share framework shares the cost of child care between the employer, the employee, and outside funders. United Way and Marion Community Foundation, as always, have stepped up to be the initial funders for this initiative. We are so fortunate as a community to have them as such amazing partners. We are also blessed to have built partnerships with the Marion Matters ERN, MAWAC, Tech Cred, and so many others. The ERN is a low-cost shared resource to help improve employee retention and productivity by providing a success coach on site to assist employees with removing barriers. MAWAC provides the next generation an integrated opportunity to develop professional skills by combining education and industry. This partnership connects local students to Marion area educational, business, and workforce development leaders. And next month, we'll be contacting members to have them complete that education and business contract, which will help you know what options you could be providing students at your location, which could be as minimal as a guided tour. Tech Cred helps Ohioans learn new skills and helps employers build a stronger workforce with the skills needed in a technology-infused economy. We are fortunate to be situated in a community with local access to higher education. These programs and opportunities, along with many others, combined with the collaborative mindset of Marion, equip our community to continue to develop the workforce we want and need. Our third 2023 initiative is continued charter city communication. With continued interest and progress by the Charter City Committee, the Chamber, along with the League of Women Voters and others, feel it is important to provide neutral space to share information regarding the possible benefits or barriers of Marion becoming a charter city. I will continue to attend the community meetings to ensure that we have the most factual information to share with all of you. In the last report from the Charter City Committee, there is confidence that there are enough votes from City Council to get the initiative on a future ballot. Our final 2023 initiative is to continue to advocate for the removal of blighted properties and delinquent property taxes. Through your voice, we understand the concern that blight brings to our residents, the ability of your business to entice and retain talent, along with the value of our properties. I've been involved in the Housing Coalition for the last couple of years in my position at Marion Matters, co-chairing the Affordability Action Team. I will continue that role in an effort to advocate for partnerships and programs, such as Habitat for Humanity's Rock the Block, a program that brings neighbors together to make improvements to their neighborhood by taking an active role in the work that's being done on their street. The Chamber will also assist in seeking private partnerships and grants to support the work of the Land Bank. We will continue to support the Marion County Prosecutor's Office and specifically Dave Stamalis, whose focus in 2023 will be to address delinquent property taxes. Dave's here with us this afternoon. Dave, if you could wave your hand to us. Yes, help me thank him for that amazing work. Thank you, Dave. We're excited to work with Dave, as the Chamber was very impressed with his work in his previous position as legal counsel to our county commissioners. Hopefully by now, you've received one of our key initiative handouts, which covers our recent history of big picture advocacy and impact, as well as outlines the 2023 initiatives I covered today. We'll be providing updates throughout the year on all of these initiatives. However, we are extending to all members. If you are particularly passionate about one of these initiatives, please let us know and we will add you to future initiative discussions. All this and more make 2023 a great year to be a Chamber member. So before we get you back to work, time to wrap up, including some giveaways and a very special award. But first, some thank yous. 2022 was a fantastic year at the Chamber, and we could not have accomplished everything we did to help others without the support of our amazing Chamber ambassadors, passionate board members, committee volunteers, community members, and the incredible Chamber staff. I personally am looking forward to getting to know the staff and working with them to accomplish our 2023 goals. My priority over the next few months is to get to know all of you as well by stopping by your business to say hello. Thanks again to Boyd Funeral Home, Amy Fredericks with Edward Jones, Sedgwick, Park National Bank, and First Federal Community Bank for stepping up to provide financial sponsorship dollars for today's event. And once again, thank you to our pianist for the event, Angie Carvetta, who serenaded us as we networked today. Now we'd like to do something fun. We're going to draw a couple of names out of a hat or a basket. I think we've got a basket somewhere for some great prizes here before we wrap up. So we want to give a thanks to Mike Zucker. We are giving away a month's free he is giving away a month's free advertising on the Bright Light Media Downtown Electronic Billboard. So let's see who we have here. Okay, we're gonna draw again. Rigged, no. Thomas Dolbow for the winner of the Bright Light Media. Great. Next up, a drawing for free social membership with access to the dining rooms and much more at Marion Country Club, thanks to Dale Osborne. James Walker is the recipient of that. Fantastic, fantastic. annual OSU raffle. As you may know, the lucky winner of that raffle will be receiving 2 tickets to all of Ohio State's 2023 home football games. But as a reminder, if you aren't the lucky winner of a raffle ticket, we will have those available for purchase for only $10 each here in the lobby today, if people are walking around, and in our office leading up to the auction in April, and you need not be present to win. So that winner is Eric Mosley for that raffle ticket. Yay! Sorry, I have to write the names on here. I won't remember what this was. Okay. And next, no drawing needed. All of you are welcome to take advantage of the offer to rent either this beautiful lobby area, grand ballroom upstairs, or their second floor conference room at an additional 5% discount. Now that's on top of the already 20% discount that all chamber members receive. All you need to do is book the rental prior to June 1st by speaking with Keaton Graff, who will be up near the ballroom immediately following this meeting if you have any questions. And last but not least, Valentine's Day is coming up very quickly. So if you have any jewelry shopping to do, Carol's Jewelers has your back. They're offering that anyone here can stop by February 10th through 14th, and just by mentioning you were at the Chamber's annual meeting, you will receive 25% off of an in-store purchase. Great. And now, the announcement of the winner of the 5th annual Pam Hall Betterment of Marion Award, presented to the individual who passionately advocates for the betterment of Marion's community. Sharon, as our board chair, would you please do the honors of presenting this plaque?
Evelyn. Evelyn Warr-Omness, Planning Director of Marion City County Regional Planning Commission. She is from Toledo, Ohio, where she attended Macaulay High School, an all-girl Catholic school. She holds a Bachelor of Arts and Master of City and Regional Planning from The Ohio State University. During undergraduate studies, she focused heavily on art and architecture. This led to an interest in art in public places and historic preservation, as she pursued city planning in graduate school. During graduate school, she interned with Franklin County Zoning Annexation and Building Department and at the Ohio Historic Preservation Office. In 1990, she landed her dream job, entry level, as a planner level 1 at Marion County RPC. That's a dream job. It would give her many opportunities to impact Marion on 3 levels: land development, community development, and economic development. Over the years, she has been promoted to planner level 2, then assistant director, and in 2019 to planning director. In her professional life, she serves the city of Marion County, 15 townships, and 7 villages, particularly with zoning, subdivision regulation, and community development grants. Evelyn and her fellow employees act as a staff to the County Land Bank and are the backbone organization of the United Way Housing Coalition. While working in Marion, she has served on Marion Homeless Shelter Board, Downtown Marion Inc., Monarch Place Board, and Marion Can-Do. Evelyn participates in the Marion Economic Development Coalition, the Continuum of Care Prevent Homelessness, Health Department, Built Environment, and Local Food Committees, Black Business Council, Martin Luther King, and Lodo Neighborhood Association. Evelyn recently married her longtime love, Paul Omness. That's where we get his name. Together they have 2 daughters and 2 sons, ranging in age from 34 to 19. Never a dull moment.
嗯
Congratulations.
Thank you.
嗯。
is everybody wants to do something good for the community. They each bring their skill set, and I appreciate working with each and every one of you, whether you're in the government side or in the neighborhood or nonprofit or for-profit. I know that everybody's hearts are in the right place, so I appreciate my own staff and family for putting up with my long hours and griping and everything else. But I do appreciate it very much, and I love Matt, and you guys are going to have a great person with Heidi, most definitely embodiment of passion in your belly for the community. So thank you.
Thank you, Sharon, and congratulations, Evelyn. We did it. There was so much to cover, but that's it. We're ready to go. Thank you all again for attending. At this time, we do encourage you, if you haven't grabbed a brownie yet, grab one on your way out. Enjoy. Thank you. Stay safe.